This video is a free taster clip from my brand new ukulele course, Jazz Beginners. More details later in the video.
I'd like to talk to you now about something called swing. This is a musical term to mean that the beats aren't always equally aligned with each other. Normally when we strum, we've been strumming just down 1, 2, 3, 4 on the beat. Now, in other music, we can do down and ups. And these ups fall in between the beats. These are called ands. So we've still got the downs on the beat, but we're now filling the spaces in between with an and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the and is always an up. But with swing, we like to push that up as late as possible. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's something that is really intrinsic and in the blood of jazz. And so whenever you're doing those other strumming patterns, staccato or long notes or the Freddie Green style, whatever it is, if you're going to put in some ands, make sure they're swung. A good way to practice this is to first do some strums on the dead chord and just say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And when that is nice and confident, take out the 2. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. If you still need to feel the 2, feel free to bob your head. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. 3, 1. Then, for every time you say 1, say what beat you're on, and then the 3 becomes an and. And when you do those ands, do it as an up. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Now let's do it a bit faster. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Bit faster still. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. And eventually, once you've practiced that and got it up to speed nice and comfortably, then you'll be able to start including elements of swing in your playing.
Have you ever thought about playing jazz on the ukulele? Believe it or not, the ukulele is really well suited to playing jazz, and there's a whole host of stuff that you'll be able to do with your ukulele that you will never have done before and you'll never do elsewhere. So why not come and study some jazz ukulele on my brand new online course? The Jazz Beginners course takes you right from the basics, where you only need to know a handful of chords and strumming techniques. And by the end of the course, you'll be able to play dozens of jazz standards really well. We've got hours of videos split across 7 modules and over 40 lessons, most of which come with a downloadable PDF and activity pack. You'll learn how to play with others, as well as gain more independency as a musician. I've been playing jazz ukulele all of my life, and I'm constantly exploring and finding new things, and through these courses I'm going to be sharing some of that information with you. So why not head over to matthewquilliam.co.uk and begin your ukulele journey today.
Because you are all I long for.
The thing is, with jazz, we are still mostly doing down strums, but we're only putting in the occasional up strum. It's not like there's a set pattern. And it's not like we have to do an up strum in between every or even most notes. We just have to do it enough to imply the swing. So it might sound a bit like this. That was just a pattern that I improvised, and there are some patterns in the PDF. These are not strumming patterns, but they're exercises to show you how you could include and incorporate these swung ups. And you should practice that both with a nice long held chord like that and also a staccato chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Practice those at different tempos and with different feels, and soon you'll be able to incorporate this swing rhythm whenever you're strumming. The final thing we're going to cover is something that does sort of spread across all styles of jazz. And this is where we put the strummed accents. Now an accent is a beat that should generally be felt stronger than all the others. This is because if we just strummed a chord and played every beat exactly the same, it's very easy to get lost, especially considering this is a dance genre. So our ears need some sort of reference point that keeps coming back to us, that strong beat that tells us where the cycle of the dance moves begin. And normally this is every 4 beats. So a bar has 4 beats in it. You may hear musicians counting in music, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're counting in a bar of music. And whenever we play a chord, we're normally playing 4 strums. Fly me to the moon, 2, 3, 4. And let me play 2, 3, 4. Among the stars, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. So we need to make sure that the strongest beats in the bar are accented correctly. This means that if we've got our normal bass line of volume here, we can play the accents just slightly louder. We're not looking for a massive contrast, just a little one, just enough to tell us where these beats are. Now normally, in a lot of pop and rock and folk music, the accent is on the first beat of the bar. That's the most logical place for an accent to be. That's the beginning of the bar, so in order to establish that, the first beat is strong. And here's what that would sound like. But in jazz, we don't play how everyone else does. No, we have to be awkward and do our own thing. We like to accent the offbeat, the 2 and the 4. This is a deliberate subversion of the traditional form of accenting beats. And it means that, rhythmically speaking, the music's quite unstable. But oddly enough, the more driven and sort of busy a rhythm feels, the more easy it is to dance to. And this has its origins all the way back from sort of the early traditions of jazz. And so this is what it sounds like. If I start with the counting, 1, 2, 3, 4. And at a faster tempo, and I'm going to do that staccato thing again now. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can hear that some of the beats are quieter than others. There are 2 ways to do this. If we consider our bassline volume again, we can either raise the accents to be higher, or we can make the quieter ones quieter. It's all about the contrast, so as long as one is louder than the other, it doesn't matter whether it sits here or sits here, as long as you've got that contrast. So first, let's raise the volume of the accents. And again, it's only coming up a little bit, but in order to play these accents, you need a little bit more contact between the nail or the thumb or whatever it is you're strumming with, just to bring out a slightly louder sound. I'm digging in a little bit more with the finger. Not overdoing it like that, as if I was playing really loud, but just enough so that it's making a nice, clear tone. Now that's a very valid approach. However, my personal preference is to, instead of play the louder ones louder, play the quieter ones quieter. And this, again, is coming back to the idea of reducing strings, but not quite to the same extent as Freddie Green. Instead, we're just going to do a little strum like that, a down strum, where the hand still finishes below the string, but we're only catching the G and C strings. Maybe we'll even catch just the G, or maybe a little bit of the E as well. Because we're playing fewer strings, we get less volume. And so we play those on beats 1 and 3, and then we play the full strum, all of the strings, on beats 2 and 4. So here's what that sounds like. And that is how you should approach all of these strumming styles. So here it is in the staccato style. Here it is in the longer style. and in the Freddie Green style. And it doesn't matter which technique you're using to do these accents, but as long as you can get that feel into your jazz strumming, it's going to make all the difference to your comping.
You are all I long for, all I worship and adore.